John Tucker, thanks so much. In Chicago, Anurag Rana joins us this morning, and here in our studios, Mandeep Singh. This is the way it has to be, folks. They're not allowed to be in the same building. They're that important for what we do. Paul Sweeney, what do Anurag Rana and Mandeep Singh do for us?
They run our technology research. It is a global business, Tom. We have research analysts around the world, Europe, Asia, North America, to really get a real handle on the entire technology stack.
Right.
Anurag, let's start with you here. We got earnings coming up this week. Let's start with Apple. I'm not sure what the story is here. I'll tell you what I'm concerned about is China. Can you give us a sense of kind of Apple and China and what you think we might hear from Apple this quarter as it relates to China?
Paul, I think you nailed it. We are concerned about China as well. We've been hearing about a slowdown in spending in China on the luxury goods market, whether it's LVMH or Swatch. And we heard from some of the suppliers as well that the fourth quarter or the December quarter numbers may be a little light. So when they give guidance for next quarter, Apple, when they report on Thursday, I think that could be a concern. And we are on the same page as you that China is an issue.
Anurag, back it up then one day. On Microsoft, I guess it's AI angst. What is the character of Anurag Rana's AI angst?
So when you look at Microsoft for over the next 12 months, we are going to see massive capex going into the market, along with a little bit of margin degradation. So this is not going to be financially a massive year for Microsoft when it comes to earnings growth. But at the same time, that's the only company where we can see actual benefits of AI translating into revenue. And I think that's most important for them, is to prove to the market that their AI revenue is picking up better than anybody else out there, and their positioning is stronger. And I think that's most important for Microsoft.
Tom, our good friend Mandeep Singh here in studio, he's sporting a cast on his left hand. Some tennis injury. Goes back to my theory, no one ever got hurt sitting on a bar stool. So Mandeep, I don't know what's going on with you in your tennis game. We got the digital advertising players, the Googles, the Facebooks of the world. How's that business these days?
I mean, given, we are coming off peak interest rates and, with lower interest rates, you typically see digital ads tend to do well. So I would say, both Meta and Google should see a kind of a tick up when it comes to digital ad spending. The thing to keep in mind is where the expectations are. So in the case of Meta, expectations are already for 20% growth. So it's hard to see them coming up with a big beat and raise. They could. But in the case of Alphabet, the expectation is for 13% growth. And that includes your cloud business, which is growing at 30%. So I would argue there is a more likelihood of Alphabet beating their numbers than Meta.
Okay, nobody cares. Anurag Rana, I'm going to go to you, Mandeep, now. But Anurag, I want you to jump in here. Are you kidding me? My search is cluttered. I've got all this AI garbage up top. I can't get to search like I used to. What are we going to look like, Mandeep Singh, in 12 months?
Well, so ChatGPT has clearly changed the user interface for how people search. And for informational queries, a ChatGPT interface is far better than a Google search. But for search...
Says who?
Just
it's too much to read. I just want to get to a Google search.
But Google search will show you 10 links, and then you have to figure out which is the best link you want to.
Okay, but last night I'm searching for gherkins for martinis. I want the little cute,
ones, sure.
The little cute pickles.
Yep, absolutely.
I get 4 miles of AI Chat GPT garbage rather than search Google gherkins martini.
You're absolutely right. So for transactional queries, for navigational queries, there is no substitute from ChatGPT. It's only for informational queries. That's where ChatGPT is making
informational queries, like maybe how you make the best.
Okay. We go to Anurag Rana in Chicago. Anurag, does this mean Bing to the rescue? Is this finally where Bing gets it going?
No, I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is for transactional, as Mandeep mentioned, you're going to have enterprise companies coming up with Copilot/AI agents that can help you find those things better. So I think this is where a lot of the companies will be spending money. Whether it is e-commerce, whether it is any other area, you will see AI helping you better get the right product for you in your hand. And I think that's the big differentiator.
Tom, I think the reason Mandeep and Anurag sound so smart is because they cover technology and it just grows every single year. I could sound smart talking about technology. So Anurag, talk to us about I know we spend a lot of money buying you and Mandeep this IDC data about where all the tech spending is going, and I paid for that for many years. Where is tech spending going over the next several years? Is this a slowing growth market, or is tech spending going to go crazy with AI?
When you look at tech spending right now, Paul and Tom, we are seeing a bit of a slowdown in non-AI tech spending. So the big bucket is still the same what it was the last few years, but companies are just allocating money from one bucket to the other. What we are hoping is by next year, hoping that the Middle East crisis calms down a little bit, the election is over, companies are going to do net new addition to that spending, which is going to help both the AI part of it and the non-AI part of it.
Bloomberg surveillance for you across the nation in your commute. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Mandeep Singh has both in his car. And Sirius XM, channel 121, good morning as well. The Corridor, Washington, New York, Boston, 92.9 FM, good morning as well. We're on YouTube. Subscribe to Bloomberg Podcast. It's a new digital effort here. Thrilled at the growth of YouTube for Bloomberg surveillance. Mandeep Singh, I got to get back to foundationals here. I actually watched, sort of curious about the colors, the M4 launch yesterday. And you know where I am. I'm chip-centric. I'm with Mandeep on this, folks. Forget about, pink or orange. What do I need in an iMac? 3 nanometer semiconductors. Explain to our audience the importance of 3 nanometer on our path to 2 nanometers.
Yeah, look, I mean, the reason why we are talking about AI is because all these computations are growing exponentially. I mean, look at how much we have come in terms of NVIDIA GPU architecture. So the same architecture has to be brought on the device side when it comes to the smartphones and the PCs you use. And that's what Apple has to do in terms of using the 3 nanometer manufacturing capacity to make this chip so powerful that it can run a full-fledged AI model on the chip.
So then, Anurag, how does Mandeep's world of 3 nanometers fold over to what Nadella has to do at the conference call on Microsoft on Thursday?
When you look at Microsoft, what they are trying to push is all their enterprise applications, whether it's Dynamics or Office, they need those to be much smarter to make it a point that people upgrade to the next version of it. So that's where you get the output. When you look at a company like Microsoft, I mean, the number of people who are using Excel are pretty much constant. They really need people to go upstream in order to make more money. And that's where they need to prove that the co-pilots actually have that productivity that comes in it, which is going to force people to upgrade.
The cloud. Give us a sense, Anurag, I'm thinking about Amazon, Google, some of the big players here in the Microsofts of the world. Give us a sense of the lay of the land here on the cloud. Who's kind of on the margin doing a better job, and who might be on the margin kind of slipping a little bit?
See, this is the way we think about cloud. The entire market is growing at such a rapid rate that all 3 big companies are going to make money. In fact, Oracle's going to make money as well. But when you look at it at this point of time, because of Microsoft's relationship with OpenAI, they are doing slightly better than the other 2. But I have no doubts that both Amazon and Google will make a lot of money over the next few years, because it is much easier to run some of these AI workloads in the cloud infrastructure rather than doing it in-house. If you're a large bank like JP Morgan, you may decide to do it in-house because you have the capital to do it, but not everybody else can go out, buy GPUs and AI servers and try to do this in-house. There's a massive shortage of labor out there as well.
Mandeep, I want to ask you about an old-time, long-in-the-tooth tech company, Intel. I know you're not the chip guy, but you hired our chip guy. Yeah. What's going on with Intel?
It's your fault.
Exactly.
It's your fault.
Can we ever get our good friends at Intel back on the cutting edge again?
Well, Tom mentioned about 3 nanometer. Intel has still not perfected 7 nanometers. So for them to get to 3 nanometer, they still need that time to build their capabilities. And that's where I think Intel has struggled for the last 5 years. It's hard to see how they can get directly to 3 nanometer, given where TSMC is, but that's where the gap is.
3 nanometer, John.
Yeah, it is 10 to the minus 9. Yeah. Whoa. Anurag Rana, last question to you here. When you do some of the parts of technology, how far out the x-axis can you go? If you sum of the parts, I don't want you to do buy, hold, sell, but if you sum of the parts, some of these companies reporting this week, is it confidence out 3 years, 5 years? Is it Anurag Rana confidence out to 10 years?
I really think they need to basically mention that the demand is so strong that they really don't see a way that they're going to reduce their capex anytime soon. Any talk of reduction as capex is going to be taken with a lot of negativity right now, because the way these guys are spending, they're going to spend, let's say, close to $100 billion extra over the next 2.5 years or so. If they say we're going to slow that down, that's bad sign. But otherwise, what they are basically saying is that the total addressable market is growing at such a rapid rate that they are out there to spend the money and then collect the dollars after that.
I shaved the beard today.
Thank you.
I mean, these
Thank
guys
you.
are scoping beards here.
No,
Mandeep,
well, they can-
is that like a
they can do
BI
it.
thing?
Mandeep's fine. He's
I don't
always
have
had
a
it.
choice.
Anurag is
He looks
another
like,
matter
the
whatsoever.
Redux of Clooney out in Chicago.
Exactly, which is a burgeoning tech hub. I'm not sure if you knew about it. That's why we have Anurag
Chicago's
in
a
Chicago.
burgeoning
exactly.
tech hub.
Exactly.
Tell that to Boeing.
Anurag,
Anurag
locking it
Rana,
down.
thank you so much. Greatly. This is a pleasure. I can't tell you, folks, the gift we have in what Sweeney invented at Bloomberg Intelligence. Mandeep Singh, Anurag Rana, to tell me how much money I lost by not being in big tech stocks today. Triple leverage all cash.
All
That's
right.
good.
Sleep well at night.
We sleep well as we lose every day to inflation.